being an adult woman, saying the vilest things to like a child. Now I'm gonna cry. Am I dumb? Are people's knuckles not darker in general? Hi guys, my name is Vashni and I'm a yapper who likes to put makeup on. So if that's something you'd be into, then stick around. So today's video is gonna be a little different from what we usually do here on this channel, and it's inspired by the little shade range rant that I went on in my last video. So it's gonna be more like a story time, get ready with me, where I do indeed talk about this teacher that hated me. So yeah, I already done my skin prep, and for the skin prep I used my Plum Niacinamide rice toner, which I'm actually really liking. I've started using this since my first video and I genuinely think it does the job. And my moisturizer is my Pond's moisturizer. For lips today, however, I'm using this Vaseline tub, which I swear is a dupe for the Laneige. Now, the title is not clickbait. My first time class teacher did indeed hate me, guys. And you will not believe the reason that this grown woman was opping a 6-year-old. So, just to give you some context, I have always been a very quiet, a very shy child. Like, it definitely took a lot for me to kind of come out of my cocoon and be like, oh hi, my name is Vashni and I like this and I like that. So I was never the kind of person to like disrupt class in any way. I was not the class clown by any means. I was just a girl who kind of really kept to herself. Now, okay, maybe slight correction. Now, did I get in trouble for talking? Or more annoyingly, did I get in trouble for responding to someone who was talking to me but the teacher caught me and then I was supposed to change my seats? Yeah, of course. That's just cool, man. I was again not a problem child by any stretch or any definition of the word or the phrase. When I came to first standard, I don't think I went through like a drastic personality change or anything like that for this teacher to hate me. And crazily enough, she started to hate me right from the get-go, man. It wasn't like she gave me a few days to like get used to first grade and then she was like, oh man, you know what? Now we're starting this shit. Now I can fully show you just how much I hate you. Nah, man, she threw me into the deep end from the beginning. She took one look at my face and she was like, I dislike this girl. I absolutely hate this little 6-year-old with her bowl cut and dark brown skin because, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. It was my dark brown skin. This is going in my Mars Cosmetics Cancel Concealer to, provide a base for the eye thing. So yeah, like I was saying, this teacher who I think we should give it a name. Let's call her Pooja because
Pooja, what is this behavior?
yeah, so Pooja ma'am absolutely hated my brown skin, and this was not like speculation, by the way. She's implied it multiple times. Forget implying, okay? Sorry, implication insinuates that there was some subtlety behind all of this, but no, she straight up has told me on multiple occasions that my skin color was ugly and my skin made me look dirty, and it was just can you imagine being an adult woman saying the vilest things to like a child, a 6-year-old child, man? Tiny little me. I'll put a photo here so that you can feel a little bit of sympathy. Another thing that seemed to really set her off was the fact that my best friend was this like miniature Kareena Kapoor looking Punjabi kudi who was like super fair. Again, literally miniature Kareena Kapoor, down to like the sun-kissed brown hair and like the cat eye that's weirdly between brown and green and hazel. Like, this grown woman could not fathom why someone as fair as my friend was, talking to someone who looked like me, this peasant, because I had brown skin. I'm just gonna preface this and say today's look is gonna be championing my base more than the eyes. So I'm keeping the eyes really simple, but I still like to do my eye makeup first so that if there's any fallout, I don't have to go back and fix the look. Anyway, the other thing that seemed to piss off Pooja ma'am was my inability to speak Hindi. Now, now I'm pretty fluent in Hindi. I grew up with a lot of North Indians who kind of bullied me into being better at speaking Hindi. So yeah, but back then I really couldn't speak Hindi as well as like a native speaker. Now I just gotta ask you guys something. Actually, wait, let me finish blending this out because this is all I'm doing for eyeshadow. I'm putting some brown eyeshadow on and then I'm smoking it out. Okay, I'm back. I finished smoking out the eyeshadow and where was I? My inability to speak Hindi. Yes, causing problems in my life. What else is new? Anyway, so yeah, actually, you know what? Let's play a little game. I'm gonna ask you a little question. Okay, say you're a teacher and there's a student that's really struggling in your class. Do you A, offer to help the student so that they can improve their skills? B, let the parents of the student know that this student is struggling in your class? C, ignore the student and hope that they find their way out somehow? Or D, call them to the front of their class repeatedly and torment them? I'll give you just a few minutes to decide. Decide your answer, locked in. If you chose D, then you are sick in the head, my friend. But so was Pooja ma'am. So yeah, this lady took some sick pleasure in ridiculing a 6-year-old. She would like call me to the front of the class and ask me to say Hindi words that were not even like part of our syllabus in any way. Like when I was 6 years old, she was like, oh, say stuff like, I don't know, brashtachari. Think of other big Hindi words that a 6-year-old should not know but was forced to be saying in front of class just so that this teacher could ridicule me. That's like, now I'm gonna cry. That's like an insane amount of energy to put into opping a 6-year-old, I must say. Safe to say, I was very traumatized by this whole ordeal, and this once bubbly girl started to really hate going to school because I was just dreading that this teacher would call me and I would say something wrong, and then she'd make me stand in front of the class and then make me repeat something, and I would just feel stupid. I think as a child, I really hated feeling stupid. I really hated a lot of things, but feeling stupid was one of them. Also, I'm gonna do my eyeliner and come back because, again, performance anxiety. So that's the eye look done. I think it sucks, but I'm hoping I can clean it up when I go in with like my base products and everything. But back to the story. Now, bless my parents, they really couldn't understand why I was, constantly crying every time I had to go to school. And again, to reiterate, I was this like very bubbly, very happy child when I was studying in Montessori. So there's no way that they could have conceived that a teacher was bullying me. Okay, and it didn't help that I was a certified crybaby, and like I would cry for the smallest of things. I mean, I still am. Okay, my parents had no idea why I was crying, and I wasn't gonna snitch on a teacher, man. I mean, at the age of 6 itself, I knew for a fact that snitches get stitches. And I was not trying to like play with my life more than was already being played with, because this teacher, like I said, was already making it a living hell. I couldn't imagine how she could possibly make it worse. Another thing, apart from like the humiliation aspect of all of this, she would also just constantly insinuate that I was unclean for some reason. Okay, listen. Am I dumb? Are people's knuckles not darker in general? Because this woman was very like adamant that I was unhygienic because my knuckles were dark, or that my parents didn't love me enough to like bathe me properly, and that's why I was so dark to begin with. Like my brown skin was a result of layers and layers of dirt caked on it. Honestly, looking back at it, it's quite casteist for her to like imply that because you're dark skinned, you're unhygienic or you're dirty. Also, like I said, today I will be championing my base. So I'm gonna try and make it look as natural as possible. So I'm gonna first start with color correction. So I don't have to use a lot of concealer to hide my pigmentation. Now I'm gonna go in with my Mars Cancel Concealer again, the one that I used on my eyelids. I'm just gonna use it to spot conceal. Anyway, back to this teacher. I genuinely don't know how she was getting away with saying the violation. Well, I do know because I wasn't complaining, and most of her ilk was direct at me. Were there other students who also got the brunt of it? Definitely. But I think I got the most of it, and I just couldn't understand why. I just dotted the concealer everywhere that I put the orange color corrector on, and what I remember, the tip of the iceberg was a very specific incident. So our class had to put on a play, and I distinctly remember that this play was going to be in Hindi because, like I said before, my class teacher was also a Hindi teacher. And if there's one thing you guys should know about me, it's that I love to perform. Hence, this whole YouTube thing. I love to sing, I love to dance, I love to act. Again, I was a very shy kid growing up, but when it came to being on stage, I truly felt at home. I just love to perform, man. Now, the part that I really wanted was that of an angel. Okay, I need you guys to remember I was 6 years old in the early 2000s, and the biggest thing during that time were the Barbie Princess movies and Winx Club. And girls, was I a Winx fanatic? Oh my god, I freaking loved Winx Club. It was so iconic. Either way, all this to say there was a partner play of an angel, which again, not exactly a fairy, but adjacent, same things that I was looking for. She was like, fairies are kind, and angels are kind, fairies are pretty, angels are pretty. I just wanted to be a pretty kind angel. That's it. I think that was going to be the closest I would ever get to being a fairy in my head. And as a 6-year-old, that logic tracked. So I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to be an angel in this play. And I don't care that I can't speak the language fluently. For the foundation today, I know a lot of people might think that I hate Maybelline. I don't hate Maybelline. I actively use a lot of their products in my makeup routine. In fact, today I think I will be mixing the Lumi-Matte foundation from the previous video, because again I really liked the formula of this, and I'm gonna mix it with my other Maybelline foundation, which is the matte poreless foundation. This is in the shade 338. And this is in the shade 330. I'm gonna mix it so that I can get like a less matte base to work with. And I'm probably gonna use my beauty blender to blend all of this out so it looks a little more natural. So the whole week leading up to my audition, I would practice the lines with my mom, and then my dad, who was the real MVP. I mean, my mom was also the MVP. I feel bad for saying that. My mom, like I said, would run the script with me, would run the lines with me and everything. And then my dad, my poor dad, who would go all the way to Manyata Tech Park and come back. I don't remember actually if it was Manyata, probably Manyata only. My dad would go all the way to Manyata Tech Park and come back at like maybe 7 or 8 in the night after a long day, hard day of work, like he would sit down with his 6-year-old so that he can help her improve her diction and she can get this part that she's been pining for the whole week. And safe to say, by the end of that week, I was able to sound near native when it came to like the intonation and the inflection and everything. I was really proud of myself. And you know what? For the first time in a really long time, I was not afraid to go to school. I was not afraid of this teacher. In fact, I think I was excited to see this teacher for the first time in my life because I was like, I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna show her my dedication, my perseverance of. Obviously, I wasn't thinking all of these things when I was 6 years old, but I was like, I'm gonna show this lady that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this part, and she's gonna be so moved by my hard work that she's gonna give me this part. Come the day of the audition, and I distinctly remember we all had to like walk up to her desk and then like recite the part that we were auditioning for. So in my head I was just rehearsing, and I was like, I can do this. When I walked up to the desk, I'm not gonna cry. It's so dumb, but it really gets to me because again, this teacher got away with saying the most craziest things. I know I say she got away, but imagine you're a 6-year-old, right? There's a clear power imbalance. You can't just be like, hey, you can't say that to me. You can't assert any authority. A child in the 2000s having authority, please, let's be realistic. So this grown woman looks at me and I look up at her and she goes, why are you here? And I go, I want to audition for the role of an angel. And she takes one long look at me and then she laughs. And I'm just looking at her. I don't understand what's funny. And then she goes like, you can't be an angel. Angels aren't dark skinned. And angels are beautiful. Dark skin isn't beautiful. I feel really bad. I feel really bad for kid me because I don't think any adult should have been in a position to tell me that. I don't think anyone should be in a position to tell anyone that. But here people are just saying the most horrible things, I guess. Yeah, she didn't even listen to my monologue. She was just like, go back to your seat. And I went back to my seat and I don't think I cried. I think I was so broken, I didn't cry. Also, to make matters worse, she ended up giving the part to my friend, the miniature Kareena Kapoor. And I wasn't even jealous. Because how can I be jealous? I'm glad that my friend got the part, but it was mostly, I was ashamed. It had just dawned on me that, yeah, obviously, my friend deserved this part more than me because she's fair. She was all that was good and right in the world, and meanwhile, I was just this dark, ugly creature, and there was no way that I could be good in any way. And as a child, I think you're shown media or like you're watching media and all you want to do is root for the good guy. You want to be the good guy. So I just wanted to be like them, and to be told that I could never be, all that I was striving to be because of my skin color, I think baby me really took that to heart because what happens next is just sad, dude. Here's another reason why I got so pissed off on the unhygienic comment from her. My mom would not let me be unhygienic, okay? Even if I wanted to be. Not that I want to be. Well, my mom would not let me be unhygienic. My mom, from a very young age, ingrained into me that when I came back from school, I would have to, wash my face, wash my hands, wash my feet, change, get ready so that I can, eat my bowl of chocos and watch my cartoons as every 6-year-old is supposed to do. Yeah, that really pissed me off, man. My mom is someone who really takes skincare Like, to her, skincare is the best form of self-care. Like, my mom, straight up, mani pedi girly. That's her. Okay? And back in the day when you couldn't get like a pedi done for like a reasonable price, she would do her pedicure by herself. And she would keep this pumice stone in the bathroom so that she could, remove all the dead skin, and she would constantly tell me about this. And I was like, huh. Because in my head, I was 6 years old. I did not know what dead skin was and, alive skin was. I was like, I could use the stone to remove my brownness, honestly. I just wanted to stop being brown. I wanted to stop being brown because I wanted to be good. Cut to 15 minutes later, and my mom's wondering why her 6-year-old daughter isn't out of the bathroom. And she walks in, and I'm just there, sat there, crying with scratches on my face from scrubbing my face too hard with a pumice stone. I'm sure this doesn't haunt her. I'm sure she doesn't even know the kind of trauma that she's caused. And I think that's the sad part about like colorism, right? It's like the people who say the things to you don't really understand the impact of the things they're saying to you. They're just saying things that have been parroted to them. And you'll get it from everyone. Sometimes even like people who are dark skinned, they also will parrot this narrative that, oh, fair skin is beautiful and you're so dark and you need to do something to improve your daughter's complexion, or things like that. And I just imagine if those are taking a stand. Imagine if one person turned around and went, so what? So what if this girl is not, the whitest thing on the planet? So what? But yeah, anyway, safe to say at that point, my mom was like, yo girl, there's something massively wrong that's going on over here, and I need you to spill the beans, because if you don't tell me who's gonna get it, you're gonna get it. And I was like, my mom or this teacher who's causing me hell? My mom or this teacher who's causing me hell? Right now my mom is right in front of me, so I gotta tell my mom. So I snitched. I snitched and I told my mom exactly what this teacher was doing to me. I gave her all the deeds. I said she was really mean to me, and I told her about like how I went to audition and she wouldn't let me. She decided that it wasn't even worth listening to what I had to say because I was not fair. Yeah, my mom went in the next day and whooped her ass, dude. I think she tore her a new one royally, because she was like, ma'am, you do not get to say that kind of shit to my daughter and make her feel horrible. Because again, I had been tormented by this teacher for months. She was not just like my a subject teacher that I would see for one period. She was also my class teacher. She would have to be my point of contact in case anything was going on. Yeah. After that, khalas, this lady did not target me ever again. I don't think she spoke to me for the rest of that year. I do know for a fact that she wasn't thrown out, which is crazy because you're out here bullying children. I'm gonna put a bow to and finish this look off, and then I will film B-roll and give you my final thoughts. So that was the video, guys. I think I felt really compelled to talk about this experience, not just because of like the Maybelline shade range stand. As a child, all you want to be is good and kind and sweet and all the good things in the world. And to be told that your skin is the reason you cannot be a good person, I think something changed in my brain that day. It was the first time that I looked at myself and I was like, am I truly being held back by my skin? And it's safe to say at the age of 27, I don't think so, man. I love my skin for what it is. And I do have to say, again, I'm not the darkest skinned Indian out there. I'm sure there's so many dark skinned girlies out there who have faced way worse than I have and who are still probably going through it, and my heart really goes out to you guys. So if you want to start like a small cute little healing circle in my comment section, please feel free to do so. And I want you to use this time and this space to lift yourselves up, because I think y'all look gorgeous. that's the end of the video, guys. Let me know what you think about this format. If you have any notes for me, comment down below. But until then, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, girly!